the Tim Westwood or even Charlie Sloth, nothing against them, but they are white and they are playing more urban music, and it's the fact that they're playing it, making it kind of more acceptable in a sense.
Okay, I see what you mean.
It's not like there's there are loads of black and ethnic minority people working within the BBC in broadcasting, but it's just,
why does it have to be these guys that make it accessible?
Why did it? I mean, it was, if it wasn't for the likes of Tim Westwood, it wouldn't have maybe playing these types of music on the BBC. It wouldn't have opened the borders, I guess.
Yeah.
But then it's just, why did it have to take him playing it to open it up? Why couldn't it have?
I remember, we're talking about at college how one of, I can't for the life of me remember his name, but one radio presenter for the BBC doesn't like George Ezra, who's in contrast a white artist. And even one radio presenter can have control as a gatekeeper, in inverted commas, over control over George Ezra being played.
Exactly.
So it is sad that then these guys become the gatekeepers to allow music to be accessible.
Yeah, that's why it was the birth of like pirate radio and stuff like that. So
Have you seen The Boat That Rocked?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's one of my favourite films. You're always going to love a song with your name in it, but there's this one song where she's coming over the water on a boat, and she's coming to marry one of the guys on the pirate boat. And there's a song that's like, "La noche, I think you're swell, and you really do me well. You're my pride and joy, etc." And it's like so retro and vibing. And that's my real name, Eleanor. So
So it's just your artist.
It's a pseudonym, I'm shouldn't really say that. I should keep it a secret. Oh my gosh, don't tell anyone. Don't tell anyone.
I'm gonna put this in the hashtags. I'm gonna get those guys excited. What time is it? I mean, is there any other interesting cool news here? 4-day working. No. I mean, no.
So what inspired your poem for today's National Poetry Day?
I want to say that I could tell you, but I don't know. I just started saying to myself in my head, rainbows for rainy days.
Rainbows for rainy days.
Rainbows for the rainy days, I think, was the first line.
That's a really nice imagery.
So I started seeing that, and I was just like, but then what makes it's not just the rain that makes the rainbow, it's the fact that the sun's shining. So I think
maybe.
So I was just kind of making connections as I was writing along.
I mean, if you think of yourself as having the ability to see the light,
maybe
in a situation that is rainy,
I guess,
then it will give you a bit of a rainbow.
Yeah.
So the sun is the light that allows the rainbow to come through even on a bad day. It's really nice imagery.
Yeah, I don't know, like words literally just come to me and I write it down, and then I just think of how they can kind of connect in, I don't know, in a sense, and then I just write that and then think of how it rhyme, and it just comes out. A lot of the time I don't know what I'm writing about. It sounds weird. Like I say this to a lot of people, I feel possessed when I'm writing. It just literally just comes out, and I'll read something back and I'm like, what is this? What is this
I can't
about?
even read my writing because I try and write poetry down in a book or whatever. So often I can't read my writing, which is cool.
I just type it, but it's just sometimes I write things and I don't know exactly where it came from or what it's about right at that moment, but I read it a couple of times and I'm just like, oh, That's what I was
Hello.
writing.
Hello, meaning to what I was saying.
Well, like a lot of the time it just feels like I'm writing a jumble of random words that kind of don't make sense, but it kind of, when you read it back and you think of the imagery, that I try and create imagery.
Yeah, no, that's
Pictures,
really nice.
stories, that's what I like to use to...
I think your poems, the last couple of times I've heard them, I've really connected with you, not only as a performer but in what you say, like your content. Proper horripilation everywhere. No, it's awesome, man. I would love to hear the rainbow come through when it's ready. And I mean, that's what they should have at the BBC. Rainbows, man. Rainbows for days.
Rainbows for days, man.
Rainbow people.
But speaking of you and your performance, I have some questions.
Yeah, of course.
Since you mentioned, like, you're, like, from a big family.
Yes.
Like, are you the oldest, youngest, middle?
I am the ultimate middle child. I'm the first girl after 4 boys.
Whoa.
Yeah. It's been a journey, man. It's been a journey.
So was it like just girls after you? Or?
Yeah. So 4 boys and then 4 girls. And my mum has this dream that will be like the family Von Trapp, and we will wear lederhosens and sing at her birthday. My brothers refuse, obviously. I don't know. I think I'd quite like to wear lederhosens, to be honest. I'm kidding.
Are you from a performing family? Or?
So my brothers they all went to Westminster Abbey Choir School, actually. So I've only thought about it now, and I'm not actually. I don't have any religious beliefs anymore. But when we did used to go to church when I was much younger, we'd go up and see my brothers kind of perform every Sunday, and it's only just dawned on me. My church was Westminster Abbey when I was younger. My regular church was Westminster Abbey. And we'd always come in late and we'd have to sit in that special box that was actually for the guy who swung the incense. And we'd all be sat in one box because we'd always be late everywhere. Ask me to be there 2 hours earlier and we'll get there on time.
What got you into music, like writing and...
Well...
Or was it music that you started with? Did you start with another creative art before?
Well, I'm an artist as well. So like I said with Orange, I've got a whole...
painter?
Yes. I do collages and painting. I do lots of mixed media work.
Oh, that's cool.
I make clothes because... like you were saying earlier, you don't want to tell people what your work is about, but I really like visuals.
Yeah.
And I think being able to give those little nuances and details towards an idea just allow for that accessibility into your work.
Oh, you can sorry to cut you off, but you can create a alternative cover art for the podcast.
I would love that. I would love to do that.
Because that's a project that I'm kind of working on. I've got one coming soon.
Awesome.
I'm so excited.
I can see.
But I want to kind of, because I just made a random, like, simple logo and that was the cover, but I don't have the patience to draw. That's what it is. Right. But I love art.
Yeah.
So I just want to see different artists, because everyone will have a different interpretation of my opinion means nothing. So I just want to see what different artists will come up with and what they will design.
Oh man, I'm there. I can't wait to get involved.
Later, I'm going to do a documentary and go back talking to these artists, find out what their opinion means.
That's so awesome. Well, yeah, I'm already 100% with you on the idea. I think it's great. But yeah, I mean, art has always been a huge part of my life, and sorry, I didn't really go into too much detail there, but my brothers are now all involved in medicine. Like you said, you work for the NHS on the sly. Love it. So yeah, my parents do that as well. So there's this whole mix of creative stuff, and at Christmas time we'll do like, I don't want to call it a recital, but we all get up and, you know, play something on the piano. Because I think my parents have always had a really healthy approach to creativity as well as academia. Like, I think the two really should go hand in hand, and anyone who doesn't respect creativity as much as they respect academia. Like, I don't even like using those words because I feel like they're just on a spectrum of knowledge. Then
if I didn't have the creative side, it wouldn't help me pick
exactly,
up
because I just think they're interchangeable, really. But I've been very lucky. A friend of mine the other day was expressing how some of her family members still don't accept the fact that she's gay.
Oh.
And I had this moment where I was like, wow. Like this perspective I got when I was living in Paris and looking back and going, wow, I didn't appreciate where I lived. I don't appreciate how forthcoming and accepting my beautiful, crazy family are. And gosh, I feel like I don't want to gloat about it, like that's not what I want to do, but I just really, so much gratitude. Yeah, it's been really hard at times, big family, there's always going to be big personalities and people who butt heads, but I wouldn't change them for a while, to be honest. But I started writing when I was 13.
Oh shit, I forgot I asked that question.
I did too, that's why I slyly brought it back in there to the end. It's fine, I feel like there's been a through line in this beautiful disorder. When I was 13, I had my heart broken, and I was listening to Kate Nash at the time, that song, and it's like, my fingertips are holding onto the cracks in our foundations, which actually kind of ties into the kind of like crazy disorderly family idea. But I just really loved, I remember learning the chords on the piano, and me and my sister would sing it, and then I learned the Hot Potato song, it goes, and then I just was playing that on the piano and I started singing over the top. So I wrote a song over the top of the Hot Potato song chords, as you do.
Just in your spare time.
And then I would come home every single day after school, and I had this amazing moment recently where I was sat at the piano with Alex, and I said, oh my God, I still haven't named my piano, like my piano knows everything about me. And I was like, I think I'll call her Susie, like this, just really kind of just blasé. And I was like, Mum, how long have we had this piano? And she was like, oh, well, your grandma bought the piano for you. And my grandma was called Grandma Susie. And it was like, I don't even remember that, but it came afterwards. And I was like, oh my gosh. And there was just this moment where it all just came together. And I think it was a gift from the world. But yeah, it's just been it was a hobby for a really long time. And then I was watching Glastonbury a couple of years ago, and just the vibes and the energy and the ambience, and I was like, mate, I want to share my stories with people. It's, like I was saying to you earlier, it's like, I'm talking about lots of different things, but my friend Pat told me once that a lady came into his photographic shop and was like, it's really hard, Pat, because, I'm reading a book and I'm really happy, and then I go out every day and I search for happiness, and I can't find it, so then I go back home and I read my book. And he's like, are you happy when you're reading your book? And she's like, yeah, I'm really happy. And he's like, why stop looking for happiness? Stop looking. And I feel like it's like that with me with writing music. I was searching for my thing that made me happy, and I was really unhappy, and then I'd go into a music practice room at college or at school, and I'd have these moments and I'd write and express myself, and I'd be like, I'm so happy. And then I'd be like, I need to keep on searching for something else. Fuck off. Like, it's kind of the same thing, and it's been there. It's been, my piano's been sharing in all of these moments where I've needed to express myself over the teenage years, the angst that we all have. It's been a really important crutch for my self-development, my songwriting. And I'm really excited to share that with people.
What genre would you say, or do you not put yourself in a...
It's a difficult one because I do, like I said, embed spoken word in both French and English into my work, which is something I just love. I don't like there being that line between, because lyrics are poetry.
Yeah.
And one of my favourite artists is Joni Mitchell. And I was laying in Richmond Park listening to her songs, and it was just like the most perfect sunny day. And she said the line in California, which is, will you take me as I am, strung out on another man? And I was like, oh my God, will you take me as I am, strung out on another man? And it's like the idea that you embrace new people into your life that you recognise will naturally have these affectations in their past, and who may still be in love with that person that got away. But what matters is that they're in a new moment with you, and they have a newfound love and respect for you, and you're sharing something that's nothing to do with all of those other affectations. I just think it was a really beautiful thing to accept that we all have our quirks and we all have our baggage and we all have our stuff. But as long as you can, I don't know, be present with a new